Us was back again, and it was a nice, eventful weekend all over the table there. Still, once
Jeez.
again, you suspects here, as usual. Well done there for attendance. All season,
I don't, I
100%
don't, I don't understand.
attendance.
Without
You don't
me, the show
understand?
without me, the show doesn't go on. So I don't understand with nice attendance. Like there were times where I've not showed and the show had carried on.
I thought there was imposter last week when there was the belief in Arteta. Well, I'm joking anyway. Gotta believe, gotta believe. But anyway, straight into what's it called, the weekend's fixtures there. And no better place to start than at the crazy goal fest, what's it called, circus game at Anfield there still, yesterday afternoon. What have we got to say on that one there still? I'll let you go first, even though it's my team there.
What can I say?
Quick and sweet, quick and sweet.
Both teams can't defend.
Yeah.
The only difference between Spurs and Liverpool is that Liverpool these days have accepted their faith that they can't defend, but they will try to outscore you. And it's,
Yeah.
if you notice, Liverpool have been scoring. The change of Arnold has worked wonders for these guys. For Spurs, it shows you like what Kane said in his interview. They've lost a bit of what they are. When you look at the whole Spurs team, from like the midfield to all the way to the defense, you wouldn't have any of those players wouldn't make it into a top 7 side. Let's be real. You wouldn't even have those players at Brighton.
It's
Brighton
true.
will reject all of those players. So it's just a testament to the downfall of Spurs, and long may it continue. And what a wonderful game. Jota on the goal scoring streak. Can't stop scoring.
There you go. I'll keep it quick and sweet. As you said, both teams have got the same, they've got both going to the same non-defending score of how not to defend. I mean, Van Dijk, he looked like he was dancing on ice there still. Bambi or whatever it was.
He got finished.
Bambi, was it? He was doing Dick Van Dyke dancing going on there, for goodness sake. What's it called, Mary Poppins or whatever. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Liverpool, as you said, they're now in the mode of scoring more than their opponents.
Yep.
I don't know what's happened with Canute playing people on side, not marking and all that. Arnold, we know about inverted new midfield, right back or whatever midfield, and Robinson not marking players. And yeah, what's it called? At the end of the day, we just outscored them. And I think we were a bit fortunate there because at the end of the day, I mean, we were laughing at Ricardson. I was one of them anyway, the main ones, and you as well. Got his first goal there still, took off the...
Don't you listen? Still a poor buy.
The chicken got burnt or shot within 90 seconds.
Straight away, the chicken got cooked.
Yeah, what's it called? I'll just say both teams deserved red cards on both sides. Skip for his awful leg breaker on Diaz, and Jota for his high boots, high foot or whatever. If both got red cards, it deserved anyway. Still, the referee blew himself. Klopp blew himself. He pulled a hamstring doing the madness on the sideline.
You think it did, or was that? I thought that was fake, in jest because.
Well, the hamstring going. Well, maybe he was putting on a show like.
Yeah,
a bit like Van der Gaal. Van der Gaal many years ago when he fell on the ground and pretended to do something.
I know, yeah.
Well, just to sign off, this is why both teams have shown why they don't deserve to be finishing in Champions League football, because they're a mess at the back and they don't deserve it. Over there, what's it called? Both of them don't deserve it anyway, not especially. Spurs have melted down in the last few weeks. Liverpool had a lot to do from 3/4 of a mess of a season, and Liverpool look like the best that they can get from an awful season is finishing 5th. As for Spurs, the search for the new manager carries on, linked with all sorts there. But yeah, that's how it goes. We'll move on anyway. Still, Hàaland has hit 50 in all competitions. They said that hasn't happened since, what's it called? I don't know how many decades. The guy's breaking all sorts of goal records there. He's now equal with Alan Shearer and Andy Cole there for the most goals in the longer season there still. He's got 34 now. Definitely beat that anyway. Let's see if he gets to 40 on that one and in the Prem, and let's see if he can get to 60 in the overall goals.
I don't think so.
Yeah, go on.
No. I don't think
you don't think he can get another 10 goals in all competitions?
Yeah, I say 50. How many does he go overall now? 50? All competitions?
50. He could maybe get late 50s, possibly.
It could, because they got about 5 games
Still got
left.
FA Cup,
Oh yeah,
two
oh yeah,
Champions League, what's it
oh yeah.
called, legs,
It could. Yeah, 60. Yeah,
and about what 5 games left in the Premiership or whatever it is. So
yeah.
yeah,
It still could. It still could. The Liverpool Fulham I said Liverpool, the West sorry, the Man City
versus
Fulham game. Um, not much to say really. Then obviously that what we already know about both teams. We always knew Man City were going to win that game. We knew the defense was, they're susceptible to conceding goals, so which they did. And yeah, that was a formality win, and more or less, easy victory for Man City. Although I did see KDB on the bench. Was it KDB on the bench or no in the squad?
No, he wasn't. He had a slight illness or whatever. No, he said I think it was a slight knock, so he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I didn't.
he was missed a bit still, yeah.
That's what I'm
Because it's
saying
not
with
easy
that.
to go to Fulham game. I mean Fulham's ground anyway. But
That's
as
what
you
I'm
said,
saying with
yeah,
those teams. And Alvarez came in and scored a screamer. So yeah, 3 points, easy
yeah.
points, man.
There you go. As I was just saying, I won't say much as well. It's just that as we expected them, Fulham to make it a bit difficult for them. That was one of the tricky kind of away games that they've still got Man City to give Arsenal a bit of hope there. But we knew
No,
that they'd
I
get
don't think so.
3 points in the end. Well, 2-1. At least Fulham put up a show anyway. Still, they didn't get blown out. So at least give Fulham a bit of credit still, because I'm sure some people had that 3-0 or 3-1 on their what's it called, accumulator. But for the first time in I think about 4 or 5 months, Man City officially top the table and push Arsenal down to second there, because Arsenal have been there for 95% of the season. But yeah, Arsenal can temporarily go back to the top of the table if they beat rotten Chelsea tomorrow. Anyway, we'll see if Arsenal recover from that. We'll talk about Arsenal if we can later on, if there's time. Moving on to the other game there, Man United and beating inform Aston Villa there. It's a good result there for Man United there. And they also kept a clean sheet with their mateship back line there still. So, and the captain came up with the goal there. Sour face, Bruno Fernandes. I think that he had got a bit of words there with Sancho about too much moaning going on from the captain. But yeah, go on. What have you got to say on that game there?
Hold on. What did I miss? Sancho moaning at Fernandes too much.
Yeah, there was complaining. I think Bruno Fernandes wanted the ball and Sancho passed it somewhere else, and there was hands up, and Sancho was saying, "Stop it! What's it called? Stop moaning and all that." We all know that Bruno Fernandes is a big moaner anyway. Still, he's one of the best at putting hands up and doing all that and stuff. But yeah, they came through it and kept the clean sheet, and then they stopped Villa, who's on a good run there. Even I think Ollie Watkins has gone 3 games in a row with no goals, but
yeah, that was
anyway.
Yeah, that was a tight game. That was a tight game from like it's still sure for me. I look at Man United, they still. I mean, they've done very well to be where they are, because when I look at Man United, sometimes they're still way, way, way far from challenging Man City.
Yeah.
Being the king of the city. But yeah, now good victory for Man United. I think what Ten Hag has done, I like how what Ten Hag does is like he likes progressive football with the players he's playing, the selections, and I think finally now the whole Maguire thing is been put to bed. He said that's it, man. No more.
Yeah, that's it.
No more.
And if they can get maybe 30 million for him, maybe a West Ham might buy him or something. I think
West Ham will buy him, but that'll be the downfall, because I already got some slow defenders there, and Bonner and all that crap. Get Maguire.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I thought good victory there for Man United. It's a bit of a dent to Villa, but Villa still in good momentum to try and finish in a Europa or
He's done remarkably well.
He's
done remarkably, and Europa, that's Emirates competition anyway. So who knows?
There you go. So there we are. Moving on to another team that can't stop banging in the goals.
Newcastle?
James's Park. Yes, and you knew it. What's it called? They're scoring goals for fun.
Crazy.
Alan Wilson's having a party there. If it's not when he starts, it's from when he's on the bench. Is that 7 in the last 6? Or is that 7 in the last 5, whatever, for Callum Wilson? The guy's a super starter there. And the Isaac show. We saw that Messi, or was it Henry, kind of moved that on the
Everton defenders. That was ridiculous.
Everton statue defenders. So what we got to say about Newcastle? I mean, Southampton went 1-0 up. I thought but we knew that was it was always gonna be one-way traffic from when they went 1-0 up anyway, Southampton, and it was the right result at the end. And for me,
Definitely.
Newcastle deserved to be almost. I think they've almost cemented it. Still, Liverpool can possibly catch them anyway, but that's only if Newcastle don't drop a few points in certain games. But they do deserve to finish in the top four anyway. They've done
they've been remarkable, and I'm happy for Eddie Howe as an English manager, because most English managers with ridicule, and we say they crap, they're not good enough, which pretty much most of them haven't been good enough. But I'm happy with what he's done. I'm happy that yes, they got bought by billionaires, but he's worked with majority of the squad, and they've improved it with one or two players, and that showed how far he could do with that. So, and I'm happy for the Newcastle fans, because along the years when Newcastle haven't done well, and they've always turned up and the ground's always packed, and there's a big stadium, so they do deserve the nights in Champions League. And I just to move them forward, I believe from now on, Newcastle, they might not make Champions League every season or even this season, but they could attract players, and I feel like now the sites should be every season. Maybe we could try getting a League Cup and finish in Europa. That should be the minimum target now for at least the next 2 years whilst they build on some momentum. But well done to Newcastle. Southampton, they're used to this relegation fight. They used to relegation. They were relegated before, So yeah,
I think it's their time now. So what they say, called, Saints are not marching anymore. But yeah, well done to Newcastle there. Southampton, it was another one where they could have. I mean, this game was a free hit.
They done, man.
They were never going to get anything in that game. Moving on to another team that's in very good form there, Brighton. Brighton made about 4 or 5 changes where most of their top names, World Cup winner McAllister or whatever on the bench, Cancelo on the bench, half the front line.
Mitoma on
the bench. And then they still can come up and give 6 like this to a kind of inform Wolves there.
It's crazy.
You don't even know what happened to them still. They turned into the Wolves, as I said early in the season, with no teeth. For goodness sake, it was a shocker. My goodness, they couldn't wait till the full-time whistle.
That was awful.
Brilliant season there. Brilliant game there from Brighton. This guy is taking Brighton to a different level, as we keep saying there.
Oh, definitely different level. You're looking at managers of the season. I'm looking at between Eddie Howe or my guy Serbi, whatever you pronounce his name.
But if they win the treble, it's going to be.
I mean, if they win the treble, obviously you give it to Guardiola and stuff. But listen, what these
definitely runners up and first spot.
Because you have to look at these teams. You have to look at the margins. You have to look at how the limited resources they have. Well, not for Newcastle, but for Brighton. But you look at the improvement and how they compete with the people that've got a limited amount of funds. So now well done to Brighton. They were scoring for fun, and what can I say, man? They've been my team of the year. But obviously Newcastle as well. But yeah,
there you go. But yeah, well done to them anyway. As you said, they're definitely up. He's definitely up there. Both managers for managers of the year. Their competitions. And then another manager that's done very well still, because we were laughing at him earlier in the season there when he did get the job there. Gary O'Neill. Look what he's done for Bournemouth. We both had them going down with Southampton in our bottom 3. And he's done a brilliant job. In the last few weeks, especially picking up very good points, because you would say virtually that they're safe there. I know they've not hit 40, but on 39 points there, as we can see, most of the teams below can't even get 1 win in a row, let alone try and bang into 2 or 3, as we found out with what happened tonight at at King Power Stadium. But yeah, well done to Bournemouth. But Leeds, shipping goals home and away. No, Leeds. You said it about last year's record anyway. Was it 10 jobs in 13 years? Now they're talking about maybe want to sack him. Maybe it's a little too late. Why would you bring him in the first place? For me,
Leeds are down. Leeds are down. So one of the main reasons why Leeds are down was the same thing I mentioned Not even the fixtures. What I mentioned last season, I said you need a better goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And you need a better centre backs.
And maybe a good striker as
The
well.
goalkeeper is League One stuff, highest championship, highest, and that's the he's League One. He's not ready to be Premier League week in week out. Look at the amount of goals they shot last year, and it's come back to shoot them again this year. You can't be conceding crazy. Like you look at teams they've conceded crazy against. Just look at that. Okay, between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the last 9 games, they conceded 4 against Arsenal. They considered 4 against Arsenal. They considered 5 against Crystal Palace. They considered 6 against Liverpool. They considered 4 against Bournemouth.
19. See?
And that is just 4. How many times have I mentioned? 4?
Yeah, and that's 19 goals against.
Yeah. And then
how many goals they scored? Maybe about 3 or 4.
Yeah, and then the other games, I didn't even mention the other teams that they lost to.
No point.
Like Fulham, and it's awful.
No point, because you're just gonna rip them to shreds. And the worst thing is
awful.
They'd even try and greet their fans. They're so sour. The fans were looking for autographs and greetings and handshakes and high fives. They just walked past them with blank faces. What are they saying? Concentrating on trying to win. That didn't work.
This still not good enough, regardless of what it is.
So yeah, as you said, you think they're down with. So you got 2. So your 2 is Leeds. You got Southampton, Leeds, and then we'll talk about maybe the one between maybe Leicester, Forest, and Everton. There still.
It's a tough one.
But yeah, moving. Yeah, and then another one that's done very good since he's turned up there still at his old fortress or 14 ground there, whatever you call it, is the old granddad Hodgson there still, and he's made Palace look a bit more excited, because when he before it used to be falling asleep football, but maybe because he's now got the reins off and all that, still he just said, I'm just here for a little hurrah, even though I'm trying to say the relegation.
The four of the that's no more chains holding the players back.
And what's it called? Good to see. Obviously, Palace is I think it's the only team in the Premiership that plays at least with 8 to 9 black players from South London there. So keep that up there. Crystal Palace there, and we like to keep you in the Premiership as a South London club as well. Even though we've got our own teams that we support. But
no, what up Palace, man? I tell you, if you're watching, get the kid Olisa there just to give Saka
we need to leave to himself and Eze in the midfield
just to give Olisa some good run for his Saka a good run for his position, man. Challenge him, man.
West Ham have to be careful. They were blowing excitement there from this reaching semi-finals of the Europa League conference, and since then they've lost back-to-back games. They should be safe. They're not fully safe there.
They're not fully safe because their game in hand is against Man City. What a game in hand!
That's on Wednesday, so you might as well keep them on 34 points there. So that gives them still a 4-point gap to Forest, and they've got a much better goal difference, because it might come down to goal difference, because some of those teams down
the last 2 games of the season against Leeds and Leicester, that is the pinnacle of it.
I think West Ham should just be about all right there still, but well done to Crystal Palace anyway. Imagine Crystal Palace when they sat Vieira, they were 5 or 6 points off Chelsea. And now they're past Chelsea with 40 points. Chelsea have been unmoved. Well, not unmoved. They've moved down the table, but they've been unmoved on that 39 points. They're so lucky that they got those points early under Thomas Tuchel, or they'd be maybe on 32 points or in a relegation dogfight there. So they're awful. 1 goal in the last 5, lost the last 5. Frank Lampard is been the worst possible manager, Chelsea manager. Even though they didn't play, we still had to mention them. Worst manager in for the last 50 years or whatever. And they're not going to even reach 50 points.
Lampard has been
they might not even reach 40 points.
They've been so poor. Lampard has only got up to score 1 goal, like you said. In the last 10 games with Chelsea, they've lost 1, 2, 3, 6. They've lost 6 games, drawn 2, 1-1.
See,
drawn 3-1-1. It's awful.
That's relegation. That's relegation form, as we're saying. But anyway, we'll see what they do against.
They lose to everyone without scoring. They lose to everyone. Villa, Wolves, Madrid, Brighton, Brentford. They lose. The shocking thing about, I just quickly. I know you want to. I obviously want to keep it quick with the show, but You look at the lineup he put against Brentford. My goodness, if that doesn't show you a manager that his mind state is finished, even though you just got there like not too long ago, then God help them all because that was
9
awful.
defensive players. Yeah.
Yes.
Defensive players.
Awful.
I don't know. And then the people that you are trying to play as your kind of goal scorer or attackers is Conor Gallagher. That's not on that level of Chelsea. He's more like a maybe some of those teams near the bottom of the table kind of level. You know, like
yeah, I know. I agree. I know.
And then you got Sterling that looks like the what's happened with the sterling pound in this country. It's dropped
it's
on par with the pound.
He's saying he doesn't regret the move. Nonsense.
Well, he has to say something good on the TV there. He can't be saying that nonsense there still. But anyway, yeah. I mean, we'll watch this if Arsenal can then get back to winning ways against them tomorrow. Moving on to Brentford versus Forest. Good win for Brentford. They came back with 2 late goals there because Forest looked like they might
last minute, man.
Possible away win, but it was grabbed at as you said, they couldn't even hold on for a vital point, and it was done by Brentford there. Congratulations to Ivan Toney for getting to 20 goals in the Prem there. I mean, very good season there. I don't know if he put a bet on that himself there. Anyway, we won't mention that, Tony, anyway, but well done there. Because it's obviously it's Tony. Obviously Harry Kane on I think 25, and then obviously we know the lone wolf there, Hàaland on 30. So yeah, well done there. Forest, I said, they're in the relegation dogfight.
6 of those and then penalties from Tony.
It's another back-to-back good season for them in the mid-table there. And they've done well there still. Outside chance of possible conference there, but I don't think they'll just miss out on finishing there still. Moving on to finally, I think that's possibly the final game we'll talk about today is the ones that it was a must not either team, but one of them needed to try and win to try and bring themselves back. And Leicester, I mean, Everton went up early there with our Mr. Cross-dresser DCL penalty scoring there. And then sorry about that. Anyway, where's his handbag? But anyway, and then Leicester came back with who was it? The Turkish defender that's done well now. As you can see, now back in the team, Leicester are looking a bit better, even though they blew themselves today. And he scored, and then I think that's back-to-back and Prem goals for Vardy. The old legs there still showing that he's still got a little bit of something there still. But Maddison just missing that penalty just before half-time. We knew it could come back to bite them. And obviously, it's come back to bite the Foxes there still, because Iwobi that made a mistake that led to the Vardy goal and made up for it by scoring there still. So, I mean, a point is not what either needed, but they will take it because it's at this stage.
It's not what they want, but they both need it.
Yes, so Leicester would be a bit more happier, even though Leicester's still only 1 point. It's so tight down there. Look at the table.
No, it's tight, man. It's tight.
Southampton's gone, and then you could toss it from Leicester, Leeds, Forest, and Everton. You can toss a coin on the what two. You said Leeds has already gone, and then who do you think is your third one then? Because we have to do a revising one.
So I said Southampton. I said Leeds.
Yeah.
And 1 second.
It's looking at the fixtures possibly. If you're looking at the fixtures of certain teams.
I would say Everton are gone.
Yeah, because
look at the fixtures.
Because Everton have got Brighton next.
They've got Brighton. They've got
Man City at home. Wolves. They could come down to the game against Wolves, possibly away, and that's no gimme. And then Bournemouth. So they're in a bit of what's it called? I don't
see them winning any game. That's the thing. If you look at the fixtures, you don't see them how they're going to win any game. You look at the one of West Ham within the lot. We said West Ham got Man City and Man United. Okay, expect them to lose. But then I see West Ham beating Leeds.
Well,
I see them getting 3 points somewhere.
And then if you look at that, then Leicester's fixtures are not that. The last 4 games are not that easy. They're away to Fulham next. Then they're home to Liverpool.
Then Newcastle.
Oh, and then West Ham on the so Leicester. It could come down to just a draw. You know, the draws kind of thing. If someone can pick up a draw, if they somehow get a vital win somewhere, I think if one of those teams can get a vital win. But for me,
So who's
let's
your
have a
one
quick
then?
look at Forest then.
Who's your
For
one?
me, Southampton and Leeds are gone. And then let me have a quick look at Forest
I saw
quickly.
Forest. Forest is all right. They got Crystal Palace. They got Arsenal. They've got what's it they
Chelsea.
got in there?
They got Crystal Palace the last day of the season away. They got Arsenal at home. Then they got Chelsea away. Then they got Southampton. It could be that game against Southampton. I'm going for Southampton, Leeds, and unfortunately Everton. I think Leicester, because Everton, I know they scored 2 goals today. I can't trust them. Leicester,
Yeah.
it could be so tight. It could be like that anyway. Toss of a coin. Is your three the same as mine?
It's the same, but we could switch it up and just say Leicester in between. So who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, as we said, as we always say, put in your bottom three that you think that are going to be relegated. Send that in the
Definitely.
comment page because we've done our three anyway. Still, hope you enjoyed the episode. It's good to see goals galore in the Premiership there still. And yeah, we're coming to the last furlongs or the last hurdles of
Long
the
season.
Premiership
A
there
long
still.
season.
Long
Long
season there.
season.
Well, it's not been easy there. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see how how it ends. How it ends all over the table. Hope you've
Yeah.
enjoyed this episode.
Have a good evening, guys. Like,
Yeah,
share, and
yeah.
subscribe.